Honorable Kafusi, as Parliament of Uganda, we are going to make a follow-up on this vote. We are not going to give the Minister of Works all this money and the roads are not worked on. How can you have such roads in the country? For heaven's sake. At the end of the day, they say government is not working, and yet we are the ones who are failing. Yes?
While maintaining a minimum flow to avoid penalizing the poorest local governments, and the government should also enforce strict timelines for procurement and implementation of works financed by the grant, with the non-performing local governments subjected to corrective action plans and closer technical supervision. Right, Honorable Speaker, inadequate road equipment in local government. According to the most recent auditor OAG report, a review of road equipment in 148 sampled local governments revealed severe deficits in the availability and functionality of road machinery required to execute maintenance works and financed through the grant. 19 local governments had no road equipment units at all. 137 had inadequate equipment, such as the motor graders, excavators, and bulldozers. And 119 local governments had non-functional machinery. As a result, most local governments experienced significant delays in implementing maintenance works, and in many ways were compelled to resort to expensive hiring of private equipment. Right, Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends the following. The Ministry of Works, in collaboration with Finance, should fast-track the procurement and delivery of complete road equipment units, the motor grader, the wheel loader, the vibro roller, water bowsers, and 2 dump trucks to all local governments that lack them, prioritizing the 19 local governments with no equipment and the 14 new districts with incomplete units, with a full package funded and delivered within a clearly defined timeline. Right, Honorable Speaker, government should increase mechanical interest allocations to local governments to enable regular servicing, preventive maintenance, and timely minor repairs of road equipment, reducing downtime and extending asset life. The Minister of Works should review and amend the current policy on centralized repairs during the warranty period of authorizing local governments to undertake minor and routine repairs through certified local workshops under clear guidelines and accountability arrangements.
As you look for that, yes. We need to synchronize the issue of the regional mechanical workshops. You find a district like Bundibujo, the regional workshop is in Fort Portal, that far, very, very far. Mbarara, it is in Mbarara, not even Fort Portal, it is in Mbarara. You find all the way from Soroti, it is in Bugembe. We are wondering what happened to because UNRWA used to be very, very organized. They had regional offices. What happened to those offices? And what happened to the equipment that UNRWA had? Where are the labs, the regional labs? Before we start talking about the roads and whatever, how do we test the materials? Where are those labs? Where are the regional mechanical workshops? And then what happened to the UNRWA roads? Honorable Chair, you may need to enlighten us on that, because we are giving you a lot of money. Now, the fact that you have a lot of money, tell us which roads you will have to give us when we are doing appropriation, at which roads are we working on. I told you the road of Buheshu. You cannot even think of passing there. The road from Lira, Otuke, Abim, up to Karenga. Very, very bad road. You look at Kachonga, Butaleja, Tororo, Namutumba, terrible. Look at where Honorable Joan comes from, Madiokolo, that road of Madiokolo connecting to Arua. I can tell you all the roads now. Let's look at the critical roads. Let's make sure that we use the money effectively. With all this money that is being given, we must achieve what we need to achieve. You find the roads in Kampala here, like my road, somebody is working on a Macedon road there. I have failed even to pass there for a whole 2 weeks. Nothing is moving. But I was even wondering, why did they remove my little collars which was there? They should have left it the way it was. So, Chairman, there's a big problem in your sector. A very, very big problem.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Born out of the stations that were formerly manned by UNRWA.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because what I've seen with the UNRWA, they have only changed the logo, and yet those people used to have very good workshops. UNRWA had a very good workshop. What about where districts, like in Tongamo, Isingiro, or Kasese, that are too big, or Yam, in terms of equipment? The president promised that they would give them additional equipment and additional 1 billion shillings for road maintenance.
Discrepancies in the allocation of the road equipments indeed was observed by the committee. Like you rightly noted, Rwenzori sub-region comes with attendant challenges of climate change issues, the terrain. We did bring it to the attention
Chairman,
of the
you have
minister.
not understood what I'm saying. During the campaign, the president said districts that are too big, a district like Isingiro, a district like Kasese, a district like Oyam, a district like Yumbe, a district like there are about 6 districts. He said they were going to give them additional equipment. That is number 1. 2, he also said they were going to give them additional 1 billion shillings for road maintenance. And when we had a meeting, a top political meeting on the budget, the president even emphasized to PSST that this money must be provided. The equipment can be on a phased manner, but the money for road maintenance should start from this financial year.
Ably mirror your concerns to the minister and his team.
Can you go and make a follow-up with the PSST on that and report back to me?
Much obliged.
Because I was in that meeting.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker.
And those districts might get their money. Yes?
To my dismay, a lot of money has been given, but looking at the work on the ground, it's really missing. And I'm so surprised that we don't even have a single minister here to answer some of these queries that you are putting forward and the members are about to put forward. Right Honorable Speaker, are we moving on well to come and discuss such an important matter when the ministers are not here, not even a single one? Right Honorable Speaker.
You're talking about a single Kafusi, Honorable.
Madam Speaker, from the sector of road infrastructure and the like.
Honorable members, we are not going to fail to work because people have failed to come. Honorable Kafusi is holding vote and is taking note of everything. And we are going to make, Honorable Kafusi, as Parliament of Uganda, we are going to make a follow-up on this vote. We are not going to give the Minister of Works all this money and the roads are not worked on. How can you have such roads in the country? For heaven's sake. At the end of the day, they say government is not working, and yet we are the ones who are failing. Yes?
Much, Right Honorable Speaker. On that issue of big districts, when you look at Ntungamo, Isingiro, and Kasese, we consider both the size of the district and the population, which brings the economic activities, of course, increasing because people are many. When you look at Ntungamo and Isingiro, Kasese, and other districts whose population is high, you find that when you work on the road, within just 3 months, you need to go back. And then the terrain in Isingiro, Kasese, and Ntungamo, the districts are hidden. So you find that even bridges, working on a bridge is very expensive. So we've been finding it very difficult to manage our constituencies because we manage them as sub-districts. The money we get from here in allowances, we use it to work on our roads. And we even hire private graders from Mumbai. We have people who have private graders. One time I worked on 40 kilometers. Another time I worked on 60-something kilometers. Because my constituency alone has more than 100 kilometers of district roads. So that is the challenge, and I thank you, Madam Speaker, for encouraging us to make sure that we give those districts extra money first, and then equipment can come later, because we borrow from nearby.
Honourable members, actually, a constituency in Ntungamo is a size of my district, Bukedea. You understand? Why would Bukedea be given 1 billion shillings and then a district like in Ntungamo is also given 1 billion shillings? We should be looking at the size, the population. Yes, Ntungamo.
District which has 5 constituencies, 5 times Butambara, receives 1 billion too. We have been complaining over this issue, and I remember in March last year, we met the president. The president even called the Minister of Finance over that issue to provide more money to the bigger districts. I was in that meeting in Ntungamo. Even put him on loud. We were all listening. I don't know why the Minister of Finance is not providing this money. And we have suffered. Some of us lost elections because of that issue, Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker, for following up on this.
You should first talk about at least having a single tarmac in your district.
Because last year, twice, that road was supposed to be awarded a contractor, and they said there was a whistleblower that came up, that was investigated. We never saw the report. Around December last year, same thing happened. Around March this year, same thing has happened. So I would have loved to hear what is that report, what are the dates for the contractor to be given the road. So, Madam Speaker, you are right on. Secondly, on the issue of ferries, we informed the process in the beginning that Kaberimaido has the largest number of people who would use that ferry to come to Busoga and to come into Kampala. And so the information available then suggested that the place where the workers should be staying would be in Kampala, a place called Kampala, where the ferry docks in Kaberimaido. But up to now, there is no housing there. Instead, the housing was placed in Buyende, where the ferry starts off from. Recently, the minister acknowledged and accepted that they would transfer, that they would construct new buildings on that side. I would have expected to see that in the budget for next year. As I speak, the minister has started to rent houses for workers to stay on the side of Kaberimaido, which is a better step, but it would be important would have loved to see in the budget figures showing that construction will take place on the other side to enhance the usage of the ferry. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honourable members, to remember that there are loans that we approved as a house. The loans were approved for construction of particular roads. To date, the roads have not been constructed. They've not even started the works, and yet we are paying interest in those loans. Honourable Minister, how do we handle that? On the issue of the loans that we approved, the designs are not available, the works have not started, and yet we are paying interest on these loans.
I have listened attentively to the concerns of my colleagues. Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. I have listened attentively to the concerns of my colleagues. I would like time to consult and give a befitting answer, especially in reference to particular roads, okay? So that I can give a status report and tell you on this.
Yesterday I passed this road from Nakaseke to Ngoma. That road, I think, was given to, I don't know to which construction company, but the works are not moving. Go to Kampala Fort Portal Road, the works are not moving. To Hoima Road, nothing is moving. What could be happening? No, the releases were done. The releases were done.
Madam Speaker, some money was paid out, some of the contractors. It may not have been fully paid, but some money was given to them, especially, the Mitiana Road.
To Fort?
To Fort Portal, yes. But I need to find out, get a proper status report, and make a report to Parliament.
I have a suggestion that we refer this report to the committee, but in the next sitting, we need to open up the debate with the Minister of Works. We need to open up, Attorney General, we want a debate on issue of roads with the finance and works on Tuesday. You lay it on table.